Hi everyone, and thanks for attending this webinar on intelligent quant. Let me quickly introduce myself. I'm Chris Jones, and I'm a Senior Director of Product for Crunch, an online survey analytics platform that offers, amongst other things, dashboards for market research data. Dashboards are going to be our topic for today because I'm going to argue that dashboards are badly misunderstood and therefore underutilized in market research. We're hearing more and more about stakeholder demand for dashboards, especially interactive dashboards that allow for a degree of self-serve analysis. But research companies and client insight teams are struggling to deliver. Most dashboards are a significant drain on resources, cutting into margins that are already squeezed and extending delivery times when clients are demanding their results quicker than ever. Today, I'll be showing you how dashboards, so far, have failed to play the role that research teams need them to play, leading to dashboards being resented rather than embraced. I'll then argue that it doesn't have to be this way, that with the right product, you'll see dashboard creation in a whole new light. So much so, in fact, that you'll wonder why you're not giving away dashboards for free on every project you have. Sounds far-fetched? I'll show you companies that are already doing exactly that. One of my early roles in market research was leading a team of software developers and designers whose job it was to make custom dashboards for clients. We would discuss the requirements with the researcher before the project was even commissioned because it was vital that A, the time frame was long enough to accommodate the development work, and B, the margin was big enough to accommodate the increased costs. Projects were sometimes turned down because it just wasn't possible to meet the deadline or to achieve the budget once the dashboard development was factored in. Dashboards were, in short, a burden, and any client who wanted one was, when possible, gently dissuaded from that view. Dashboards were only for special occasions. When a dashboard had to be built, we would have numerous meetings to learn exactly what they wanted, how it should work, how it should look, etc. But inevitably, there would be spec changes along the way, and then further changes requested once it was in the hands of the client. Those post-delivery changes were the worst, because we'd need to take that team off whatever they had moved on to working on and get them to switch back to this project instead. We came to dread the words, just one small change, because there was no such thing as a small change in the world of custom dashboards. And here's the real kicker. Satisfaction levels weren't even that high. I suspect that the combination of higher prices and increased delivery time led to unrealistic expectations about what the resultant dashboard might be like. Maybe it's not that surprising when you think about it. If you order something that's bespoke and tailored, then you're going to have high demands for what you receive. It was a lose-lose situation, and it's therefore no surprise to me that it resulted in research providers being reluctant to offer dashboards. It was definitely not intelligent quant. When a product requires the specialist skills of expensive individuals, as well as overarching project management, it's going to be expensive to create. And when they are bespoke to each occasion, there's little opportunity for reuse. Think about this in the world of, say, car manufacturing. There's a reason that 99% of us buy a mass-produced car. Yes, we get to choose the colour, the engine size, and a few other extras, but the vast majority of the car is off the shelf. And that's because the alternative, a custom-built car to our precise requirements, would take months to deliver and cost many times the price of one from a factory line. It's the same with pretty much any consumer product, and dashboards are no exception, or at least they shouldn't be. What amazes me is that the industry has persisted with the bespoke approach for so long, despite the dissatisfaction from all sides. So what's the alternative? Well, in this section, I'm going to present two approaches to dashboard creation that will make you see dashboards in a whole new light. The first approach allows you to create a dashboard in as little as 5 minutes, using simple drag and drop, and not a single line of code. And the second approach takes even less effort than that. Of course, having dashboards be quick and easy to create is only valuable if the resultant dashboards are worth having. So let's start by looking at the kinds of dashboards you can create in Crunch. Here we have an example dashboard of the sort you can offer your stakeholders. you'll see that the dashboard consists of a series of tiles, each with either a visualization or some other type of content. So, up here, we have formatted text as an executive summary, an image used for branding, and a variety of visualization types, including donut graphs, bar graphs, interactive line graphs, and down here is a data table with color-coded statistical significance testing. The dashboard content has been organized across a series of tabs, allowing for easy navigation of the content. Each tab can be as long as you like, and you can have as many tabs as you like, so the whole thing can be as big or small as you want. And if I switch to this methodology tab, you'll see some other tile types we support, including videos that play directly within the dashboard, and even iframes, where you get to embed one web page inside another. Back to that first tab, let's now talk about the interactivity. You may have spotted this drop-down as I scrolled down earlier. Each tile can have its own interactivity added, allowing the end users of this one to see the results by different geographies, like so. And that's in addition to the whole dashboard interactivity in the form of these filters in the panel on the left here. Dashboard creators can choose whichever variables they want to appear here for the users to filter by. I can choose to see these results specifically for those between 18 and 45, who are also from mainland Great Britain and are current customers. The whole dashboard updates as quickly as that, and yet Crunch is calculating everything in real time. Everything you see here, in fact everything that Crunch does, is being calculated on demand with no pre-processing. There's therefore no delay, even when you choose to add a new filter variable or new analyses. Everything is immediately available for use. Are these groundbreaking dashboards? Not really. Are they better than any other company can do? Not really. But they're smart, professional, clear, and interactive. They're good dashboards for the needs of market research. But that's not where the revolution lies. What makes this a game changer is that they are so quick and easy to create that you'll want to start offering dashboards on every project. The rest of today's session will be devoted to showing you this in action. The first method of creating a dashboard like this happens here in the Crunch web interface, while the second uses our Crunch automation system to automatically create whole dashboards at scale. So, in this section, we're going to see the two main processes for creating a dashboard like this: the creation of the analyses themselves that we want to display, and the customization and layout of those analyses into a dashboard. Creating the analyses themselves happens in the main analysis mode of Crunch. Let's go and visit that to see how it works. Creating a new table or graph to go on my dashboard is as simple as dragging one variable on top of another to create a crosstab. So I'm going to take this month variable here, and I'm going to drag it on top of my add channel recall variable here, and that gives me a line graph. It's as simple as that. And then maybe I want to turn on these confidence bands, like so. This is now an analysis I want to include on my dashboard, and I do that by saving it to a dashboard container. I'm actually saving it to the dashboard I was showing you earlier, and I'm going to save it to the media consumption folder since it's related to viewing ads. There it is. So now, if I return to the dashboard and switch to that media consumption tab, you'll see that new line graph has been added to the bottom here. That process of creating an analysis of interest in the main area of Crunch using simple drag and drop is how all of these dashboard analyses got created. It's no more complex than that, and it takes a matter of moments. You create visualizations that demonstrate the insights the stakeholder needs, and you save them to the dashboard. You now have your dashboard content. But I said a moment ago that dashboard creation has two stages: saving the analyses, which we've just seen, and laying out the analyses as a dashboard. Well, stage 2 is just as easy as stage 1, so I'll show you that now. Dashboard edits are done by toggling on Edit mode, and now I, as a dashboard editor, can make all sorts of changes to the dashboard functionality and layout. The main thing I might want to do is to resize and reposition these tiles. This new tile I've added, for example, might look better over here. So the first step is to resize this existing tile, which I can do by dragging its corner, like this. And then I can just drag this new tile into the space I've created. Dragging tiles to reposition and resize is made so easy because of this grid of squares behind the scenes. You'll see that every other tile will just hop out of the way to facilitate whatever move I want to make. And note how I don't need to be at all precise about these movements. Crunch will just snap to the grid, meaning that the end result will always look neat and professional, even without any input from a graphic designer to focus on the padding, margins, alignment, etc. Crunch takes care of all of that for you, and the result looks great. Now, let's look at some of the individual customizations you can make on these tiles. Sticking with this new analysis I've just added, I'm going to enter its Edit panel, and this gives me lots of options for how I want it displayed. We don't have time today to go through them all, but I'm going to switch to this Categories tab, and I'm going to hide all the categories other than these two nets, because it's better for storytelling to focus on the key message and remove distractions. Talking of storytelling, if I return to the first tab, you can see that I can edit every one of these labels, allowing me to put commentary and insight here, if I want to, alerting stakeholders to key points of interest. I'll save these changes and return to my dashboard. And that's as complex as dashboard editing gets, which is to say, not very complex. Same for creating a new tab or using drag and drop to reorder existing tabs. It's intuitive, fast, and, unlike other dashboard platforms, never presents a bewildering array of panels, menus, and buttons. The simplicity and complete lack of technical expertise mean that dashboards can be created by anyone. Researchers can do this themselves, meaning that you don't have the bottleneck of needing to go via a specialist service team. This is not only great for creating dashboards, but imagine how much easier edits are if the client contact can make the changes themselves in a matter of moments, rather than joining a queue to get changes made by a small group of technical experts. It's unrecognizable from the workflow I was describing earlier. Hopefully this quick demo of the on-screen dashboard creation process has explained why we say that a whole dashboard can be created from scratch in Crunch in just 5 minutes. If you still don't believe me, I invite you to go to our website at crunch.io and check out a previous webinar where I did exactly that. The webinar was recorded with a live audience, and I invite them to time me. Dashboards from scratch in 5 minutes are a reality with Crunch. But I said earlier that dashboards created via the drag and drop interface is not the only way you can create dashboards, and that the other method takes even less effort. Well, let's look at that other method now. Great as the drag and drop workflow is, especially the way it moves dashboard creation from being a burden to a breeze, it doesn't scale so well. Creating dozens, hundreds, or even thousands of dashboards at scale needs a different approach. Now, the idea of creating hundreds or thousands of dashboards seems laughable if we think of dashboards as being bespoke to each client, but that's where Crunch is different. Our dashboards scale beautifully, and I'm going to show you how. Behind every Crunch dashboard, even those created via on-screen drag and drop like this one here, is a script that perfectly defines that dashboard. We know it perfectly defines it because it's the one source of truth for the dashboard. We reference it when displaying the dashboard on screen. It's therefore possible to make changes to any aspect of the dashboard by editing the script. It also allows you to copy parts of a dashboard or even whole dashboards. And finally, it allows you to generate whole dashboards. In short, this script representation opens up a world of possibilities for intelligent quant. Let's take a look at some of these capabilities. First, let's consider these tabs. For multi-country studies, it's common to have one tab per country, and in this particular dashboard, we have a tab here for the results from England. But there are 5 other countries in this dataset, and each would need its own tab. Now, obviously, you could create a new tab for each country and create all the same analyses multiple times all over again, each with a different country filter. But how about this instead? I'm going to take the script of this existing England tab and paste it into a text editor. And now I'm going to do a simple find and replace on England and replace it with Wales. I'll now copy and paste this modified script back in as a new tab. Run that script and we now have a brand new tab, exactly like the England one, but filtered to the results from Wales. By using this technique, I can have my multi-country dashboard with dozens of analyses created in a couple of minutes. For the next use of dashboard scripts, let's go even bigger. Duplicating tabs can save time, but duplicating whole dashboards opens up whole new possibilities for adding dashboards to syndicated data products, where every client gets their own dashboard on their own dataset without any additional effort. So long as the datasets have the same variables, the same dashboard can be copied and pasted to every dataset where it's needed. And since the script representation is just the other side of the same coin of the on-screen representation, you can easily mix and match your approach. You can create a dashboard using drag and drop, then copy the script to another dataset, and then make further changes to that new dashboard back in the web interface. The final use of dashboard scripts takes things to the max. And if you really want to turbocharge your dashboard game, then this is where you'll want to head. Crunch's dashboard scripts can be generated procedurally, which is a fancy way of saying that you can write a set of instructions that will create valid dashboard scripts on demand based on a set of inputs. Using whatever programming expertise you have in-house, you can write a program that will loop through the structure of a survey, identifying all of the variables, their types, their labels, etc., and then combine this with a set of rules that say what kind of visualization each variable type should be displayed as. Other rules can assign particular colors to particular categories, can hide don't know categories, can structure the dashboard across tabs that perhaps match the top-level folders of the dataset itself, and can append terms and conditions, fieldwork info, and promotional content into a final tab. One of our customers, a large global market research firm that does tens of thousands of surveys a year, has done exactly this, and now auto-generates a dashboard for every single project they run, even their 24-hour omnibus service. If you've ever experienced a 24-hour turnaround team, they run to the max, constantly. Yet dashboard automation means that they can do the unthinkable and provide a dashboard for every project without extending timelines. They've also taken the bold step of making their dashboards free to their clients, company-wide, preferring the differentiation this gives them in the marketplace. And whilst they were the first of our clients to achieve this goal, we're currently advising others who are taking the same journey. It's dashboards that are effortless. It's dashboards that scale with your business without needing to scale your resourcing. And it's dashboards that make economic sense at last. So, what have we seen today? We've seen the limitations of the old way of doing bespoke, handcrafted dashboards and how that led to dissatisfaction on all sides, longer timelines, squeezed margins, and still unrealistic expectations. We've seen that Crunch offers a completely new paradigm. Our smart, professional, interactive dashboards can be created from scratch in just minutes using simple drag and drop with no coding required. This puts dashboard creation into the hands of researchers, removing bottlenecks and allowing for quick iteration and changes. And we've seen how our scripting interface takes things to the next level. You can automate the copying of dashboards to new datasets, enabling syndicated dashboard production. And you can procedurally generate dashboards at scale, creating a custom dashboard for every project without added burden. This is game-changing. Dashboards go from being a grudge offering to being an opportunity for service differentiation. Client satisfaction increases thanks to interactivity and self-service. new revenue streams open up from dashboard products. And by removing friction, dashboards become something you want to provide on every project. If you're currently building dashboards, then Crunch could revolutionize the way you think about dashboards and the time, effort, and expense you're currently putting into them. And if you're not building dashboards, it's probably because you've been put off by those reasons. And Crunch will let you embrace dashboards in a way you never thought possible. Oh, and one more thing. You might be interested to know that Crunch doesn't charge for dashboards. Once you have your datasets in Crunch, you can create as many dashboards as you want and share them with as many users as you want. And it costs you nothing. Like I said, it's a whole new approach to dashboards. To be amongst the innovative firms who are embracing this new world and using dashboards as a competitive advantage, go to crunch.io right now to watch more webinars, arrange a personalized demo, and start your journey towards effortless, professional, scalable dashboards. Thank you all for your time today.